Hey guys, Coach Ben over here at Momentum, and
I'm Coach Jess.
and we're here to bring you video number 3. Hopefully you guys are getting some good stuff out of these videos and you're able to get some work done at home with limited resources. So for this video, we're focusing on floor and beam, and yeah, say hi to Bailey. This is Bailey, and you'll probably see some other dogs come through as we do this video.
Yep. All right, we're gonna start with beam first.
Yes. So in starting, what we didn't really cover last time are more of the specific beam positions. So releve walks. Releve walks are basically, it's another term for toe walks, if you will. So being on releve means you're going to be on your tippy toes. So honestly, finding a wood plank in your house, if you have wood floors, or some sort of similar or smaller thinner portion. You know, if you want to roll up a blanket to make it about 4 inches wide, you can. And we're just going to really focus on nice toe walks forward and backwards, and then to the side and to the side. Okay? With these releve walks, we also want to focus on hand positions. So there's a couple different hand positions for beam that I will let Coach Jess talk about.
All right. So especially for girls gymnastics, one of the things that we like to tell our kids to start thinking about, because they do these like ninja hands. And for gymnastics, we want to focus more on gymnastics fingers. So we say, pretend like you're kind of holding a hamburger. So I'll kind of show you like this, like you're holding a hamburger, and then you want to just leave your middle finger down and kind of open up your fingers a little bit, and these are your gymnastics fingers. So you can do either arms in a crown, so keep those gymnastics fingers, arms go above your head. You can do arms out to the side, still focusing on those gymnastics fingers, and then hands on your hips. You don't have to worry about gymnastics fingers for that. So if you're pretty beginner on balance beam, hands on your hips is the best one because it kind of helps your torso stay stable. Arms out to the side is probably the next easiest, and then arms in a crown is a little bit more advanced. If you are practicing arms in a crown, you want to make sure your arms aren't straight like this. They're just a little bit bent. Your hands aren't touching your head. You don't look like you're scratching your hair. You want to just have it up like this, like you're holding a crown over your head.
So if you want to do probably 3 sets of 4 rounds of going back and forth, that will be great. By the end of it, if you can stay on your toes, by the end of it, you should definitely have some sore calves. So that's also a good calf workout as well. So releve walks forward, backward, side, side. And then if you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can start doing forward kick. You can add kicks to it, okay? So wherever your hand position will be, start doing nice kicks, straight knees, pointed toes. You can do that, and then you can also do backward kicks, okay? So you walk, kick back, walk, kick back, and then the same thing with side.
Yep, when you do side kicks, make sure that the athlete is keeping their knee facing up and they're not turning their hips like this and kicking their leg behind the arms. It's a little bit more of like a forward than side kick like this. You don't want them dropping their hip like that.
And with these side kicks too, it is also going to be a part strength workout, just because it's really going to be working the hips. You're going to have to work your abs as well, and just keep everything moving up. The tighter you are, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So moving on, next we're going to look into passe and coupe holds, okay? And I'll let good old Coach Jess demonstrate.
So a passe hold is toe to your knee. So you bring this toe to your knee, hands on your hips, like I said, is the easiest one. You want to make sure they're not putting their toe on their knee and that they're not putting their foot behind their leg. It's really just toe to the side of your knee. And then, you want to just hold that position. Try to do it for about 10 seconds. If that's really easy and you're more advanced, you can try and go up on releve. Hold that also for 10 seconds. That's pretty hard. Then the other one, same thing, toe to the side of your knee. You can go up on releve, try and hold it. When we do any balancing stuff in gymnastics, we always tell our kids to look at something that's not moving. So right now I'm looking at myself in the video and I'm moving. But if I were to focus on something that wasn't moving, it would be a lot easier for me to hold this position. So if they're having a hard time with balancing, remind them to look at something that's not moving and look forward. Don't look down and don't look up. Right? You want to just keep keep your eyes looking forward. So coupe is toe to the outside of your ankle. So you'll just kind of hold it here. You want that toe to be pointed. You don't want to just kind of rest it here. Don't want to rest it there. Point that toe to your ankle. Same thing on the other one. And just like I said before, if this is way too easy or kids like they can hold it for 20 seconds, then have them go up on releve. So that's coupe and passe holds.
There you go. So moving on, then we can also move into pivot turns, okay? So pivot turns, it's not going to be a normal half turn, but pivot turns instead are going to be when you're a little skewed with your feet, so the feet, both of them can be on the beam. You're going to go up in releve and turn and down, okay?
It's just a 180-degree turn.
Exactly. So it's not, what you want to do is the foot that's in front and the foot that's in back. The foot that's in back is the way you're going to turn, okay? So my right foot is back. I'm going to turn towards my right and then drop down, okay? So that's going to be a pivot turn. You can keep your hands on your hips, keep your belly tight, nice neutral posture when you're going, okay? Again, when we're doing all these movements, the goal is to not be looking straight down. It's not to be looking all around. If you're on a beam, the goal would be to look at the end of the beam, okay? And that'll really help with your balance.
I always tell kids to focus on two things when they're doing pivot turns. So you want to look at something that's in front of you, and then when you turn, find something else that's in front of you this way. If you're looking all around as you pivot, you're going to wobble. So you want to just focus on two things, 1 and 2. And you want to make sure they're not just turning and dropping off of their releve. You want to make sure that they're going up on releve, turning, hold, then relax.
Perfect. So far we've covered walks, we covered releve walks, kicks, we've covered pivot turns, and now the next thing is to work on some jumps. So straight jump and tuck jump. Those are going to be the next things that we want to really focus on. So with these, sorry, one of the dogs just went through the doggy door, so it's a really exciting moment.
Okay, this is Bonnie. You saw Bonnie in my other video.
Yes. So for straight jump, again, we really want the feet to be skewed. We want a nice, long posture, belly tight, booty tight. We can start with your arms up, and all we're looking for is a nice little squat and straight back up and squat back down, okay? Guys, can you please go, 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 go.
Yeah, so you want to tell the athlete to push through their toes when they jump. You don't want them just jumping like this. They're not going to get very high. So like Ben said, one foot goes a little bit in front of the other one. You're going to have them bend their knees, push through your toes like you're pointing your toes in the air, and then land with bent legs. Really important. You always, I know Ben talked about this in an earlier video, but always, always, always land with bent legs. And yeah, so as you get a little bit more advanced, so Ben just had us doing jumps like this.
Guys, come on, outside.
Come here. So as you get a little bit more advanced, you want to have them practice their jumping arms. So they'll start with their arms up. You can use your pretty gymnastics fingers. Bend your knees, bend your arms, jump, and land. Again, arms start up, bend your knees, arms go down, jump, and land. Cool. The next thing we're going to teach you guys is tuck jumps. Ben is dealing with the dogs. So you can start with your arms up. Make sure when you do your tuck jumps, your knees come up to your stomach. You're not kicking your butt. So it's knees come up and land. Same thing once you get a little bit more advanced. You can bend, swing your arms down, jump, and land.
So when you start with tuck jumps, it's okay if it's just going to be a slight jump. As long as the knees are coming up in front and not doing more of a butt kick, that's what we're looking for. Tuck jumps on beam are hard, and a lot of girls try to overdo it, and when they do, they get a little bit nervous, and then they'll split their legs. So again, everything that we're doing will be great if you can take a blanket, fold it in, keep folding it until it's about 4 inches, and just have your child just work on that. It's going to be a nice soft landing for them, and it's also going to give them more visual aspect of where their feet are landing in comparison to what it would be on a beam, if that makes sense. But yeah, so as we start tuck jumps, try to get your knees as high as you can, but it can be a gradual progression, okay? It doesn't have to be straight to the belly at first. It can be a little bit, then a little bit more, then a little bit more, okay? So yeah, so that's straight jump, that's tuck jump, pivot, turn, walks. I think that's definitely a lot covered for beams. So we will move on to floor. So last time what I covered in floor were a lot of lunges, handstands, forward rolls, handstand forward rolls. So the idea now is to try to transition more into backward rolls, and then some T-cartwheels and some cartwheel step-ins, getting ready for round-offs. So for backward rolls, I know it's a little bit trickier. What I really want want the athletes to focus on is pretty much the start position and the hand position, okay? So something as easy as sitting on a fireplace or sitting on something where you're in a nice sitting squat and you're putting your hands by your ears, okay? All I want is for your athlete to hold this for 30 seconds. That way they're just feeling kind of how this backward roll is going to start, okay? We have a lot of kids that are here, a lot of kids that are here. Just there's a lot of different body shaping, okay? So what we really want is to have them feel like they're squatting, a nice squat, sit down position, chest up.
Elbows close to your body too. You don't want to be out here when you're doing a backwards roll, because then you're going to kind of learn the wrong way of pushing through your hands. You want to keep your elbows here and your fingers pointed backwards. As you get more advanced, then you'll do it with straight arms and your fingers facing in. But for now, we want you keeping your elbows close to your body and your fingers facing backwards so you can push your hands into the ground.
Yes. So holding this position for 30 seconds times 3, if you will, that will be a good start. And then if you want to actually do it on the floor, again, what we want to make sure is that we're doing this on soft floor, matting, carpet, so it's not going to be anything hard surface. There's always a parent watching or involved. I'll actually do a back walkover, and Jess can demonstrate backwards roll, sorry. And Jess can demonstrate the spotting positions if you wanted to spot your child in helping them with a backward roll. But the main part is when we're actually going into a backward roll, we'll start the nice squat. When we roll back, the second that the carpet hits the back of their head, we're going to want to push through. We're going to want to push through our hands into a handstand, and that's going to allow for protecting your head, okay? So first and foremost, the most important thing is just protecting your head, okay? So me doing a backward roll quick. I'm going to start in this position, arms in, elbows in, arms by your ears, okay? I'll just do this one on my own to begin with, and then when Jess spots me, we can maybe go.
Cool.
Okay, so we're just going to jump back, push, and land in a tuck position. A lot of girls also try to open up into a handstand, straighten their knees, stay in a tuck position. That's what we really want to see. The tighter the tuck, the easier this is going to be.
Cool. So the next, do you want to spot me?
Sure.
Okay. So this is how you would spot. I'll try and should I go slow?
Yes.
Okay. A little too slow. Made me feel bored, but.
So when she's coming around, what I'm doing is I'm having each hand on each side of their hip or her hips. And as her hips get over her head, I want to bring her hips around so I alleviate all of that pressure off of her hands in case her hands aren't giving the support they need to protect the head. We can do that one more time, and if you feel comfortable doing this with your athlete, then we definitely would be all about you guys helping your child out in getting this backward roll, okay? So she's going to move back, her head's going to hit, she's going to, sorry. So as soon as the back of her head hits, she pushes through her hands. Even though she's pushing into that handstand position, she's keeping her knees tucked.
Yep.
So that's a backward roll. And then from backward rolls, we really want to work on T-shaped handstands, or cartwheels. Goodness gracious.
T-cartwheels, yeah.
Yes.
So T-cartwheels are really good because they help you square your hips for round-offs. So in preschool, we teach cartwheels just hand, foot. We don't worry about squaring your hips until they're a little bit older. But so let's say your athlete's a lefty, meaning that they lunge with their left foot forward, and their left hand is the first hand that goes down in the cartwheel. They're going to point their left hand out, and then their second hand's going to come around and point towards their stomach, making a T position like this. So that's true for righties too. The first hand always points out, away from your body. So the right hand's going to point right, and then the second hand's going to come around and point towards your stomach, making a T. Like I said, it just helps you kind of square your hips. You can use anything you have at home to kind of help you make a T position on the floor. Obviously, if you have like paper and you can draw an arrow, that would be perfect. Ben has gloves. This is awesome. So I would just have this on the ground. So this is a left hand, and then I would have this as the right hand coming and making a T, if you can see that. So I'll just put them down real quick. 1, 2. Always start in a lunge. 1 hand, 2 hand, and then see how it kind of helps me square my hips to stand up out of my cartwheel. That's a T cartwheel. Yeah.
And then from T cartwheels, if we want to get a little bit more aggressive and do round-offs, if you've done round-offs before, then you're more than welcome to do round-offs. The landing, we just really ask that you're doing it on something soft, just because that landing is going to be a little bit more pressure on your joints. But for those who can't quite do a round-off yet, we're going to have this same exact drill, but we're going to step your cartwheel in, which gives you the idea of bringing your feet together, which is what you're going to do for a round-off.
Right, so it's still a cartwheel, so you're not landing your feet at the same time. You're landing one foot and then the other foot follows. You're kind of just landing one foot and the other foot follows like this to get your legs together. So you can still use your T hands, start in a lunge, cartwheel, 1, 2, step up. A little tighter than that, but yeah.
And if you want to have your athlete count every time, I always tell my kids to try and count. A lot of kids sometimes try to go into their cartwheels, putting both hands on at the same time, but I try to do a quick 1, 2, and then the same thing with your feet. 1, 2. That way they know both feet aren't landing at the same time quite yet, and both hands aren't landing at the same time on the floor quite yet.
Yeah. If that's really easy, if you're in an advanced class, you can start from a lunge on the ground like this. Teaches you that you have to drive your back leg over your head, just like you would have to do in a round off. So you could still do the cartwheel step in from a lunge, step in, 1, 2 feet together. Yeah.
So that's what we have for floor. Again, everything that we went over with regards to bridges and stuff, I would say especially with these beginner classes, that's going to be, even through the intermediate and advanced, bridges are a big part of gymnastics, and that back flexibility is definitely going to be needed. So to always incorporate that into every one of these workouts is probably going to be in everybody's best interest, and that's definitely going to be something that I recommend, and hopefully Coach Jess recommends as well.
Yeah.
So moving on, we're going to go now into more strength aspects that will also allow you guys some time to build up. Again, a lot of things that we did are probably going to, if you do them long enough, are going to be their own strength workout, but we'll also give you some extra strength exercises as well.
Yeah. So we'll start with beam strength. One of the things we have your athletes do on beam is we have them get into a V-sit. Also, you can call it a pike sit, but their hands go behind their body like this onto the balance beam. They're not pushing with their hands like this, but they're also not just laying down on their elbows. They're just kind of pushing their hands a little bit into the ground just to stabilize themselves. Hold their legs up in a V. You can have them squeeze something in their legs. So like Ben's gloves again, or a stuffed animal. Like this, so they have to keep their legs together, point their toes, and just hold it for as long as you can. If this is really easy, you can have them go down and up. Do that about 10 times and you'll feel it in your abs. Cool. So that's V-sits. The next thing we're going to do is diamond position push-up holds. So on the beam, we have kids do butterfly hands when they do handstands or push-ups. So you can either do diamond push-ups or you can just do like butterfly on the ground to practice for your push-ups. So you'll just do butterfly position with your hands and just hold this push-up position for as long as you can. If this is super easy, try with one leg, and then the other leg. Yeah, just hold it for about 10 to 30 seconds, kind of depending on your strength capabilities. And then obviously the one leg push-up position is harder. Again, focusing on that butterfly hand position.
Next, we're gonna do some lunge with arms, arm movements, if you will. And for this, we're bringing some lovely condiments out from the kitchen. So I would assume that most of you guys will have these condiments in your kitchen. So basically the idea for this is getting in that nice lunge position, knee bent over the toe, nice straight line down the body. So you have these condiments that you're holding, and we're gonna start by your ears, and we're just gonna bring our arms down and arms back up, okay? Arms.
Notice that he's not arching, he's not going like this when he does it, he's not swinging into it, his upper body is staying completely straight. He's making a line from his hand to the back leg down there, and he's just lifting. This is good for hurdles when you do round off, run, hurdle. That's kind of what this strength is for. Do about like 10, 15 reps. And then you also want to do it on your back leg. So you just switch legs, same thing. Make sure you're keeping that angle from your shoulder to your back leg. Yep, just like that. And you can't tell because of his pants, but his back leg's straight.
And try not to look down, try not to look up, just keep that nice neutral position. If you want to look more down, look with your eyes, not with your head, okay? And just nice and tight, 10 or 15, probably a good 3 to 5 sets of these, and that'll definitely get you working. Yeah. And then alongside this, going more into some leg stuff, gonna do some quarter squat jumps, okay? So arms and back, just nice quick movements, quick little jump, up, quarter squat down, push through
his toes.
Exactly, okay? And these are going to be more fast twitch muscle, working the fast twitch muscles. Really explode off those feet. My ceiling's a little bit low, so I can't quite explode too high, but really pushing through those toes and exploding off of your feet, okay? If you do about 15 sets 3 times through, that'll definitely get you working too. My heart rate's already up and I only did 3.
All right, and then the next thing we have is single leg squats or lunges. So I'm not going to use this nice fireplace because it's a little harder, but I would use the couch. You want to elevate your back leg up on the couch. You don't want your knee to be on the couch because that takes away from your exercise. You just want kind of up to your mid shin. Your front foot is going to go just enough in front of you so that your knee is not going over your toe like this. You want to keep your weight in the middle of your body. Hands on your hips is the easiest one. Focus on something looking forward, and you're just going to bend and up. Do about 10 on each leg. You'll really feel it. Bend. Woo! Can't bounce. My ankle strength on this right leg is not very good. If that's too easy, grab your weights, right? And go bend and up. Right? 10 on each leg. Yeah, so,
and then just last one,
last
a lot of the core exercises, I mean, everything that Coach Jess has already shown you are going to be great things to do consistently. You're going to work different parts of your core muscles, but to add a little bit of variation, we can also do like slow motion mountain climbers, okay? So basically being in a plank position and touching your right knee to your left elbow, or at least trying nice and slow, okay? And keep it moving. The focus here, we're not trying to have our butt up. We're not trying to be in an arch, but instead a nice plank, okay? And it's just nice and easy, opposite knee to opposite elbow.
Yep, and that's it. Make sure you're also stretching. A lot of our stretching is pretty much the same. Make sure you're getting your splits. Make sure you're getting your sit in a straddle. Reach down to either side. Reach down to the middle. Bridges. Make sure you're doing your bridges. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Enjoy. Hope you guys are having fun. You're staying busy. And just know that, you know, we at Momentum are thinking about you guys, and we definitely can't wait for you guys to be back in the gym.
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
Bye.